Chuchilo Negro. This is probably the rarest of the, quote, 7 Oaxacan moles. It uses this Chilhuacle chili, which is not easy to come by. Even in Mexico, it's not always available. That's one of the reasons that this mole is more rare. It's often made for funerals or other special occasions. So to say that there's 7 moles in Oaxaca is really a misnomer. It's nice that it gives you something you can get your head around as far as the different combinations of things. But really, there are so many. There are 1,000 different kinds of chilies. And these moles are what ingredients go good with a particular chili. So there's just an endless variety of moles. Someone, I have no idea who, came up with the idea of just saying that there are 7 and here they are. And it does make it easy to grasp how moles work. So this one is going to be interesting. You char all the ingredients, you keep the seeds from the chilies and burn those. You burn tortillas, you char the onion, the chayote, the tomatoes and tomatillos, and the garlic. So there's it's one of those things where every ingredient gets processed before it goes into the stuff. This particular mole is often served with venison or boar or other wild game. It's also often served with beef or pork. So I have chosen a beef brisket for today's meal. And to cook this, I'm just going to put it in a slow cooker for 4 hours or so. I made a quick dry rub with garlic, onion, chili powder, paprika, salt, brown sugar, and cumin. And I'm just going to coat this and then put a little barbecue sauce on just so the meat has some flavor when we get all done, and we're going to pour our sauce over top of it. So I'm going to do that, and I get this meat started, and I'm going to take the seeds out of the chilies and reserve them. We're not going to throw them away this time. And maybe prep up some of these other things, and we'll come back. All right, so I've cut my tomatoes and tomatillos into fairly big chunks, and I'm going to get these a little charred. I have a little oil in the pan, and I'm going to let these just cook for quite a while and hopefully get a little bit of color on them. All right, so I was able to get a little color on them in the frying pan. But they're also cooking quite a bit and just going to turn to mush. So I'm going to try and get more color on them under the broiler. And in the meantime, I've got I'm going to do the same things with the onions and the garlic. Now the garlic I haven't peeled. I'm just going to let it peel get the color, and then I'm going to take the peels off. All right, so we got a nice little char going on the tomatillos. Even the tomatoes have a little bit. That's about what I expect to get out of them. The onions and the garlic seem to be doing pretty well here in this pan. They're getting a little char on them. And now my pan's too messy. I was gonna take those out, put the onions in, and put them in the broiler, but I think they're getting looks like they're getting charred enough up here. So we'll just keep that going, and we'll come back when I'm done with these, and it's time to start on the chilies. All right, I got a pretty nice char going here. I'm going to take the garlic off so I can let it cool, and then take the peels off it. And the onions, I'm just going to go back in the bowl and reserve them until we're ready for them. And next, we get to work on chilies. All right, so I've got these chilies sweating out here. I don't want to burn them, but I really do want to scorch them and get them pretty thoroughly cooked. And this is doing a good job. And the reason I'm not doing this inside is because this really releases a lot of fumes, and we want Kelly to be able to breathe.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cook this, our 8 Chilhuacle,
Easy for you to say.
chilies and 2 pasellas, and we're gonna let them cook for a little while, and then I'm gonna put them right into some water and let them soak. But I can really tell that they're cooking.
Yeah, it's more well ventilated out here for sure.
Yeah, it's got a really strong fumy flavor here. I really don't know how hot these chilies are. Nobody, in all the reading on this that I've done, nobody said anything about them being hot. So we'll find out. All right, so our chilies are, you can see a little smoke coming off the pan. The chilies are crispy. I'm going to put them in the water. Let them soak. This needs at least 15 minutes to soak. Probably get more. And
It's heavy, huh?
hurt my wrist. I'm going to go into the pan with my seeds.
Those are out of the peppers?
Yep, and I'm going to get the tortillas on the grill here. And we really want to burn the tortillas, and we want to at least brown these seeds. They're going to burn a little bit. And when they do start to burn, I'm going to put the fire out with some water and let those soak as well with the tortillas in there. So we let this develop for a minute and see what happens. Okay, so these seeds are really darkening. They're putting off noxious fumes. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
My tortillas are also darkening. They're getting very dry.
Looking good.
I'd like to get them to flame, but wee-haw. So yeah, this is going as expected. All right, so I caught the tortilla on fire. I'm going to throw it in there with my seeds, which should help catch the seeds on fire.
Oh, there it goes.
Get this one to burn too, a little bit. And then, oh yeah, see the seeds are starting to burn now.
And now watch out, it's going to make a lot of...
It's going to make steam. So I am going to come off the heat, and I'm going to pour the water right in here. And I'm going to let this soak in the water for a little while, and then strain it off. And this is, you know, we did this with the Oaxacan black mole, with burning the seeds, and it's interesting what it adds to the mole. All right, so now that we have our pieces and parts, we're going to start assembling. I'm going to put a cup of beef broth in the blender. And I'm going to put my onions and garlic in there. And then we're going to add the spices. Now, this, like all these moles, is just a combination of a little bit of a lot of things. So there's 1 teaspoon of Mexican oregano. And then the rest of these spices are less than a 1/4 teaspoon. So I have some thyme, which we grew and dried here at the shack. So less than a 1/4 teaspoon. And cumin seed, that is such a small amount of spices, I expect is why you don't sweat these spices before you add them. A little bit of cloves, you know, a little bit of clove goes a long way. And a little bit of black pepper. So this is really just a pinch of these. I think 1/8 of a teaspoon would be about a pinch. And we're going to smooth this out and then add our chilies. This is always the exciting part.
Yeah. Watch it spin around.
All right, so to this, we're going to add our chili seeds and tortillas. But we have to strain this stuff first. We just got new countertops, so you have to be careful like what you set on them.
Like black hot things?
Yeah. So, I just, you know, I'm not keeping the water from straining these. These will just go right on in. Such a strange ingredient. But, you know, that's what makes it fun, right?
Of course. Oh, careful. Is it hot?
You know, because they're not all the way burned, it's kind of nutty. And then next,
Oh, yeah, I'm smelling that one.
we're going to strain our chilies.
Oh,
And I'm going to save some of the water, just in case I don't have enough beef stock. I'll use chili water. So the chilies go in, and we're going to add another cup of beef stock at this point. Just going to make a rather full blender, but
yeah, maybe. Oh, so you blend it down first, it'll.
that's all it's going in here. I'm not sure it's going to blend. Let's go in with a half cup. Doing well. So I want to get this as smooth as I can. It's coming along. It's pretty good right now. And this is going to be the base of our mole, and now it's, you know, turned to
The right color?
yeah,
I was unsure earlier.
nice and dark. I did the seeds first just to show the contrast of the color with the seeds. Okay, so
bubbling.
Well, that bubble came out by itself. I can probably get this smoother by adding a little more liquid and zooping it one more time. The bottom was moving around, but the top wasn't. So let's go in like that. And I'm just gonna give this one more.
Good.
All right, there's our smooth sauce. Let's see what we have here as far as flavor goes. I'm expecting this to be a dark, almost bitter. And I'm not disappointed. That is really a dark chili. It also has a fair amount of heat. Yeah, but we still have to add our tomatoes and tomatillos to this, and it also gets thickened with some masa. We have some more beef broth that has to go in there.
What are you doing with these?
Those are going to go with the beans and be like a side. Well, so there's choices, as with all moles. Once you have your sauce, you can add your meat to it and all your vegetables, and you can cook them in the sauce, which would be a great approach, except I might want this sauce to be used for something else. So we're going to cook the meat and the vegetables separately, put them on the plate, and put the sauce on it. So that's what we're doing. All right, so our chilies. I've got some bacon fat heating up in this pot. Closest thing I have to lard. But you know, I like the flavor of bacon fat. Who doesn't? So I'm going to go in here with our chili mixture. And while that's heating up, and not needing too much attention, remember that's going to sploot, so keep it covered.
Yep, it's already doing it.
I'm going to go in over here with my tomatoes and tomatillos. And I'm expecting this to be moist enough that I don't have to add anything to it. Charred bits I don't want to miss out on. Okay, so we're going to zoop this up, and after about 10 minutes of our chili stuff cooking, we will add this to the pot. So we got the brisket out of the slow cooker. It looks really nice. I'm going to finish this on the barbecue just to give a little more to it. We're going to slice it and just put it on a plate. You have the option at this point of cutting it up and putting it in the mole. But as I said before, that's not what we're doing this time. So this has been cooking along for about 10 minutes here. I'm going to take it off the heat so it will stop splooting long enough for me to take the lid off, because it's just splashing everywhere. And I've got our tomato and tomatillo. I'm going to add that. And then go back on the heat. Get that stirred in, and then we're going to let this cook along for another 10 minutes or so. And in the meantime, we will add. So what I've done here is I've taken a cup of masa and a cup of water, and I've made a tortilla dough, and I split it in two pieces. One is going to go in the blender. Don't know if you have to crumble it, but I'm going to, with a cup of our beef stock. And we saw this with another mole where the masa was used to thicken the mole. And that's what we're doing here. So we're going to just put that in a bowl with a lid so it wouldn't dry out. And we're just going to zoop this up. That went easy. And in 10 minutes we're going to add this to the pot. And you see by now we've just about gotten all the chili out of the blender without having to use a scraper. So it's looking pretty good. So chochoyotes, and this is the rest of our masa. You just take about a teaspoonful, make a little ball, put a dimple in it, and there you have it. And these boil for 5 minutes. Last time we made these, we put them right in the mole, but this is going to be a side on our plate. It's a little corn side. All right, so I'm just going to finish this meat. I had this fatty side up in the slow cooker, so I'll put that on the grill.
Got a lot of sauce on it.
I'm going to add a little bit more barbecue sauce to the other side here.
So we have a video with the rockin' sauce that you're putting on there.
This is our homemade shack sauce. And we're hoping that that'll kind of, burn
Caramelize,
a little.
caramelize and burn.
Yeah, get some good flavors going into the meat.
Do it again.
So I'll turn that over in just a couple minutes, and this really shouldn't take long, maybe 3 minutes on the side, and just to get a little flavor on the outside. All right, so this looks really good. It's got some char going. So we're gonna tent this so it can rest while we finish our other ingredients. Okay, so now we have our masa mixture. I'm gonna pour this in here, and then at this point, as this thickens, it can start sticking a little, so you kind of have to watch it and stir. Oh yeah, that's not much left in there, so that's good. I will give this a quick stir, and then as this cooks, it should thicken. I'm going to add, this was 3 cups of beef broth, and it should require all of that, so I'm going to add it, assuming that this is going to thicken quite a bit. So I'm boiling the chochoyotes in water. I added a little bit of the chili soaking water to this to give it just a little bit of chili flavor. And I'm just boiling them for 5 minutes, and then we'll take them out and they'll be ready to serve. All right, so we've served up our meat. We've got the beans, the chayote, our masa dumplings, and now over it all, we are going to put our mole. Look at this sauce, man, oh man. That is the stuff right there.
It's like gravy.
Yeah, chili gravy. So this will be good. I've been tasting, and the meat just came out super tender, but this mole, it has a little bit of heat, but not as much as I was afraid it was going to have. Wow. Okay, this is really good. I can see why it's the least common of the Oaxacan moles. it tends towards the bitter, and it doesn't have the sweetness of like the manchamanteles with the pineapple in it. It doesn't have the chocolate of the black mole, but it is really delicious. This is going to be great.
You want to show us how you're going to garnish that?
Oh,
Make it pretty.
well, I have some chive flour, shuck and chive, and I make
Nice
it
way to
rain.
serve it.
That wasn't a very good make it rain.
It's okay.
And
Little
then,
marigolds on there.
and then we have some marigold petals.
Which are edible.
Okay,
You can use them all.
and there we have our Chuchilo Negro. Chuchilo, yes. Mole Chuchilo Negro. Thanks for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen. I believe we've completed our original quest for the 7 moles of Oaxaca, but now we have to do the other 993.
Oh my God.
So we'll see you next time.